And there we go again, guys. This is game number 2 here in a best of 3, Rave versus the Prime. Rave, I wouldn't say stomped them, but like over time, with very disciplined fashion, they, yeah, they just won against Prime, and there was nothing they can do. The draft of Prime just didn't allow any sustain in their draft, while a Viper and the Duza, they know Dota in another fashion. They can fight forever. And that last Roshan was pretty much the beginning of the end. So it's 1-0 at the moment for Rave. My name is HeflaTV, and casting with me is Mr. G Advance. Like, it's been a while for him, but the cast was definitely enjoyable. You're here on HeflaTV, and now let's hop into the draft. Let's see what we got. Unless your microphone is still muted.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Whoops. I'm terrible with muting microphones. This is... Why do you think I haven't casted in so long? I've like forgotten how to do anything now.
Ah,
How does this
your
even
microphone
work?
was just muted all the time. That's why you were
Yeah.
casting, just people didn't hear you.
I have been for like 2 months, just no one's I just hadn't turned the stream on or whatever.
Anyway, so let's hop into the draft. Let's see what we get this time. If Prime comes up with some more sustain in the fight, some more traditional cores, because like the idea behind the draft was good, but the execution was just bad. So maybe they should just draft something that demands less of execution.
Yeah, I definitely think that was the issue in the last game. It wasn't like that. Like, sure, the Earthshaker didn't get very much in the way of items, and the Blink Dagger was a little bit late on the Magnus, but that's something they went into the game expecting. Like, you know if you're going up against a tri-lane with your Magnus that he's going to have a late Blink Dagger. You know if you're going up against a Viper in the middle lane, you're going to get crushed. Unless your teammates come in and continuously gank him, which they won't do, because then the enemy team are going to start reacting to that, and it's not going to work for more than 2 times, probably. You know that you're going to get crushed. So, you know, he got himself relatively good items as well. He was doing a fair amount of damage in the fights. He had a BKB as well as a Blink Dagger, so he was hitting pretty hard, and he was always able to be where he needed to be, but the problem was is that they just did it a little bit too late. The first time that they actually really execute it, they get 2 great kills, and then they overextend 2 seconds later and ended up losing more people. And the problem with that game as well is that they never actually once dealt with the Medusa. She ended the game with 0 deaths. She lost an Aegis, which she did on purpose underneath the enemy tier 4s. That's not really a loss for her.
Pretty much. And well, the standard, I don't know, bans are pretty much there. The Brewmaster and the Death Prophet, that's something that doesn't, I don't know, get me off my chair. The ET and the Scarab Mage, okay, that's something Rave just doesn't either plays or doesn't want to have against them. That's quite common for them. Like in the MPGL they had like similar bans. The second rotation is on the way, but let's talk about the picks. We have a big fat ultimate already now on the side of Rave, so the Titan is coming out. Chakiro for the lane presence. We have to see Rave is sometimes playing a Chakiro in a core role, but for now I just settle him in, like, I don't know, lane presence with Liquid Fire, pushing the tower if you're in a tri-lane. And on the other side we have the Ogre Magi and the Vengeful Spirit, the support duo, which I definitely like. As I said, Boo Boo on the Ogre Magi, he didn't find really into his game. He was very, I don't know, proactive, roaming around, trying to find some openings, but he also fed away quite a lot, and mostly Rio or Jo were, like, yeah, benefiting from that. So let's see. For both we still need 1 or 2 cores, and of course a mid. But first look into the bans. Like Rave is already going for the cores, while the Prime, well, they ban out some split push and the Naga as well.
Yeah, I think this is sensible banning actually coming out for... I think this is pretty sensible stuff for both these teams, but I think particularly the bans, the starting ones that they take for Rave, the reason they take out both Skyreth and Elder Titan is that Rave love hard carries. Now, one of the big things about hard carries is that they generally have really good stats. They get a lot of agi carries. They get a lot of heroes like Medusa who are very much based off your natural armor. You don't often buy an Assault Cuirass on a Medusa or a Morphling. You buy something like a Lincoln Sphere. Elder Titan crushes those heroes going late. The amount of that the damage adds up onto you is ridiculous compared to a hero even like Lycan who just buys a Vlad's, which isn't reduced by that Elder Titan aura. So I think that's actually part of the reason why they get it, as well as that, you know, they're very difficult heroes to deal with in the early game, and if Rave are going to want to go later, then you may as well go for that, because the early game burst damage you can get with a Skyreth and an Elder Titan is absolutely ridiculous. And very long ranged as well.
We get the Lycan now on the pitch, which means we have now a heavy pusher as well on the Prime, as well as someone who can do tons of damage, especially if minus armor is coming their way. So if Vengeful Spirit, for example, gets up a medallion plus the Vengeful Spirits like in build Wave of Terror, then the Lycan can really just race through certain heroes in a very crazy amount. We have to see what Rave is actually banning as the fifth one, because they might want to ban the Broodmother. In C, the Broodmother is not there yet. Like this, that's what I actually. The only thing I dislike about C is that the meta is not as fast changing as in other scenes. Because like short after the release, like in all the other tournaments, we've been casting Broodmothers, even Broodmothers and Lycan combinations, which is just sick because all the Broodlings get the howl as well. But C always takes a while till they catch on. But if this was, for example, a EU or CIS tournament, I would say like, oh my god, ban the Broodmother, otherwise you're gonna be screwed. Because right now we have a perfect laning. We could send, for example, the Batrider in the mid Lycan in a tri-lane with the Ogre, Magi and a Vengeful Spirit, and then get that Broodmother in the offline pushing all the time, and then with Howl, it's just sick what you can do. And at the moment, like Rave doesn't even have anything to stop it, except for Jakiro, but you can easily dodge all the spells of Jakiro with the little Spiderling, so it would be an option, but as I said, I doubt that happens here in the C tournament.
Yeah, like you said, the CEA region, they generally adapt slower. They adapt differently as well. There's a lot of weird things that have been very popular in CEA and not so much in Europe and CIS and Americas and whatnot. But they do still have the Tidehunter, so if Broodmother was picked up, that is one hero that you can stick in a lane. You leave him on his own. It does mean that you have to change your other lanes completely, which clearly at this point Rave don't want to do, because you never want to go aggressive tri-lane with a Terrorblade on your team. You're going to get Ruffle Stomped. There's far too much magic damage, which actually, speaking of which, is possibly an issue that Rave might come into here. Terrorblade has
I
awful
don't like
HP.
this Terrorblade. Like, I really don't like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. I think this is probably one of very few times where you don't want to have Terrorblade on your team, because he has no HP, and there's an Ogre and Avenge. Like, it's so easy for them to focus him down here. And as well as that, I think the Prime definitely picking up a lineup that suits them more. Their individual skill has not been bad by any stretch. Their ganking was very good at the start of the early game. The problem was their team fights were a little bit wonky. So what do? You pick up yourself a Batrider, the easiest initiator in the game, and you pick up a ton of damage. That's what they've got now. Timbersaw, Venge, Ogre Magi, cut right through the enemy lineup. Lycan, of course, anytime you're not looking at him, he's killing your tower.
Yep, the biggest problem for a Terrorblade is always like stuns and heavy burst. That's the problem. If you die within a stun, that's exactly the key for a Terrorblade. Of course, they have something to slow it down. They have a Jakiro Ice Path as well as a Ravage to work with. So let's see where this is coming. But at the moment, we have a Batrider to displace the Terrorblade, get him in a position where he can just get obliterated. We have an Ogre Magi as well as a Magic Missile that could bring him in a double stun situation. And then of course the Timbersaw, like Chakram ticking on him after he got stunned, and then a Chain Whirling Death combination in a drive-by shooting fashion that would just make that Terrorblade not so terror anymore. And that's what I'm mostly worried about. Like, they're gonna get a Venomancer now as a fifth one. Okay, to be honest, it doesn't really fit in my opinion, because the Lycan can just run away. The Timbersaw, if he managed to escape here on Nefari, he should be just fine, surviving even all the burst of a Venomancer. But let's see. The Puck, Rio is definitely gonna be a playmaker here. The Dream Course and everything, it has to be on spot, as well as interrupting, for example, the Lycan shapeshift and stuff like that. So let's see.
Yeah, the only reason I can think why you'd pick the Venomancer in this case is because the enemy team have a Batrider. Now you can plant little Veno wards all over the place, as much around your team as possible, and hope that they hit him and that therefore he can't blink. But otherwise, it's just a really defensive pick, and that's one of the issues that Rave are always going to have, because they always focus on getting big late game heroes like Terrorblade, like Medusa, like Morphling. You kind of need to have defensive supports like that, and for the moment, that's essentially what they've got. They've got a Jakiro and a Venomancer. Very hard to go aggressive on, but if you do get a hold of them, you're going to crush them. I mean, the
Yep.
Venomancer has hardly any HP.
And we have to
The
introduce
Jakiro
them
can't
while we
hurt.
talk about them. So let's see. But first, we have even the stun. Now, the follow-up stun magic missile is needed, but he doesn't have brown boots, so they're going back because they fear whatever is coming, which gives us the opportunity to really fast introduce them before we talk too much about anything else. So you can start again. Pick a side. Pick a team.
Yeah, on the side of the Prime this time, it is going to be Nefari. He's picking up the Timbersaw. Looks like he'll possibly be going onto the off lane here or the mid, depending on where Y2K is at. Y2K, he is on the Batrider. He has picked up boots, so he will be the off laner for the team. The supports both. It is going to be MST. For the Prime is on the Vengeful Spirit. The other is Ogre Magi, played by Boo Boo. And last but not least, it is going to be Monang here on the Lycanthrope. Looks like he's actually going to go to the mid lane here. So a little bit of trickery, swapping around their lanes here. Kind of surprised us to put the Lycan mid, but it does mean that you can get yourself a fast bottle, and you pretty much can't be stopped from farming in this position.
Yep. And on the other side, we have the Venomancer here, played by Cass. They started already to deward successfully, so we have Anbi on the Jakiro, and both of them, is going to support Jo, this time here on a Tarot plate. He was the Medusa before. Rio, of course, again in the mid, like one of the best C players when it comes to the mid. He's going to play that puck, and of course in the off lane, Chrissy from Batrider to Tidehunter this time. Not less of a more important job in this team. His Ravages, they have to be on point. But let's see, here in the top lane, I think that's where we're gonna see most of the action, at least at the very beginning.
Yeah, and actually, I think this is really smart laning coming out from the Prime. We've got to see how they execute it, of course, because that was their issue in the last game, but they don't put their Lycan on the solo safe lane here. They put him on the mid, and that means that he doesn't have to go up against the Tidehunter. Melee heroes, notoriously bad against Tidehunter. Sure, Timbersaw's a melee hero as well, but he doesn't need as much farm. He can do much more in the way of damage just from nukes as well, because Lycan can't do any. And that frees up the supports, who are both going to sit around this top lane. Venture's still in the secret shop here, or the side shop, sorry. They're just waiting for an opportunity where Jo moves an inch too close. He's just got too many stacks on him. They're going to go on him, and now it is.
Already initiated upon, but look at all his fire, and even the Metamorphosis, it won't be enough. They might even be able to turn this around, because 4 stacks of Sticky Napalm still on Jakiro, so they get the first blood for Rave, but they pay with 2 for it, so that's not even worth the bonus you get from the first blood. So, as predicted, the first action in the top lane.
Yeah, and Metamorphosis is now down for 120 seconds, it looks like. That's a lot of time where it should have been up because he used it, but instead he's just dead. And they get the kill on him. This is absolutely perfect for the side of the Prime.
Oh, also perfect is that invisibility rune top here, because Cass can actually go with this into the mid. Nobody picked up that bounty rune here bottom. We have to see who's actually first. I think the Tidehunter is gonna be it, but the Lycan, of course, on level 3, you can't really do anything. With Rio's burst, we don't have a Raining Rift yet, only Illusionary Orb. So we have to see if Cast actually is doing anything. He has the Clarity used before you went into the invisibility rune, which means he has at least a Gale, but he has nothing else. That's the biggest problem. So yeah, they're gonna cancel this, and top, well, they're just gonna try to steal here that camp, and they're gonna get that creep skip wave into their direction, which means less of experience lost.
Yeah, nice play from Monang there. He had some good positioning in the lane, kind of knew that somebody was missing, and any time that you know one of the supports is missing, you don't know what the rune is, you have to assume that it's an invis or a haste, which means sit the hell back. You need to get really, really far back. And that's exactly what he does. Surprised by this rotation from MST here. This is a cross-map rotation of a Vengeful Spirit. Kind of surprised, because I'd just stick him on the top lane.
But it's quite nice if he gets the magic missile in there, but no, it's not coming. He was just not fast enough. He needs brown boots, but he's another 20 gold away from this. The Timbersaw, as such, he has no chain, no nothing, so at the moment it's really just rolling death spam on Chrissy, so you can't really do anything with that. That's the biggest problem. He needs the chain as a combination, so the first gank would be really possible with level 2 chain, or then level 6 when you have the chakram up as well. Before that, I don't think you need to try on the Tidehunter.
Yeah, and Tide's not the easiest hero to gank as well. You don't have too much in the way of follow-up damage other than your burst, which is very good burst, but the real thing for me is that this team, they already got what they wanted to do right at the start, which is focus down the Terrorblade. As far as I'm concerned, just keep doing that. You know it works, you know it's a solid plan. Just throw bodies at this Terrorblade, make his life difficult, because at this early stage of the game, even with the, low-level nukes coming out from the Prime, they will still cut through Terrorblade. He has like 500 HP right now. He has a ton of armor, but that doesn't matter because you get the Batrider and sticky napalm on him. He can't turn around. He can't run away from you. You'll just kill him.
Yep, and we get soon in the range where the Timbersaw actually can do something. Like, his bottle is on the way. As soon as he gets that bottle, the Titan actually has to be careful. We have Mist now in, well, sort of in the vicinity, but he's at the moment just busy doing the polls. That Lycan, however, he picked up that bounty rune, and the puck, well, he settled for a double damage. So in this case, of course, tiny advantage for Rio. He will also be level 6, a tiny bit earlier than the Lycan, but I don't think he is putting that Dream Coil instantly to use. But maybe I'm completely wrong about it. For now, he just got the new wards, so he's just making sure there's no side rotation, plus vision on the bottom rune, and that's pretty much about it. Titan is now level 6. If he uses all the stick charges, he could use it, but more of a defensive measure, just in case that Vengeful is rotating in. But at the moment, he's not even thinking about it. He doesn't care too much. He's just busy pulling.
Yeah, right now, it looks like he just wants to get a little bit of extra XP. A kill would be nice here, but the first time that he ran through, actually, part of the reason that he didn't get the kill is he ran through a ward here on the top. So he should kind of be able to sort of work out that there's a ward in the area, but if they don't know who started with the wards, if they didn't see him place it down, or they didn't see him move in the area.
They had a little initiation here on the Batrider, but that was without Gale and anything. There's Metamorphosis up, he's even using the sticks just to stay, like, properly on top of the HP, but the problem is now we have a ton of illusions, but they all stand in fire, which means there won't be too much damage done with this Metamorphosis. It's running out fairly soon, and well, that's the second Metamorphosis not doing anything, but in the mid, Rio is gonna get that kill on the Lycan. That was Stream Coil, no Waning Rift, just the AWP damage was enough with the double damage, as I already predicted that this double damage is gonna do something. So yeah, that's bad news of course for the Lycan. He managed at least to get that side camp and bought something before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there is, yeah, he just bought the boot, so he didn't even lose any gold. 0 gold lost at least.
Yeah, that's not really a major deal for him to die in that situation. As well as that, whenever they do get a DD on a puck, it is a very good solo hero. You kind of expect that things like that are going to happen, and the puck has to get that momentum as well. Whereas Lycan, a great comeback hero, he could split push, he can crush towers if you're doing other things on the map. The real issue for me right now is I'm still kind of surprised by this MST rotation. All the way to the bottom lane with the Vengeful Spirit, sure, he's getting, stacks and he's getting pulls through and he's getting extra bits of XP and stuff they can use for later, but don't you just want to kill the Terrorblade a lot? Like, that's
Yeah.
really the options for them right now. You're not shutting down a Tide Hunter. He's going to get XP, he's going to get gold. You know that. You're not stopping the puck because it's a 1v1 in the mid lane. You coming in and helping out the Lycan, it isn't really going to do very much for him, and Rave can come and stop you very easily by, for instance, throwing down the Jakiro, who happens to be in the mid lane as well. The other place that you can go is where the Terrorblade is, and
well,
you've
maybe
got
now
to
we have to go on the Titan, like, just as you've been analyzing it, it already happened. Like the Timbersaw getting that easy kill, and this time it was with, of course, with the help of the Vengeful Spirit. This was the burst I was looking for. They waited even until level 7. Now he's almost level 8 in that lane, and well, that declares this lane sort of as won. But the problem always is when you kill a Titan, you never know where he reappears. He might as well just buy a TP now and go into another lane, but no, he's reappearing in that bottom lane. Of course, he still has the Ravage, but yeah, the next step for him is a Blink Dagger. He's far away from it, however. Like, that's more than, I don't know, 1.5k. But we have a run for the level 8, I say. 8-minute rune. And Nefari is gonna be successful bottom and top. Yep, Monang is gonna craft that double damage. And with that double damage, we might actually see some action on this one. The Lycan. He could rotate bottom, and with bottom they could actually do something on the tower, but for now he just settles for the ancients. He just wants to get more farm in there. Top, however, this is the third Metamorphosis of this game, and this time they're just gonna go on that tower. Cliff, of course, being used, but this time there's no Batrider to defend it, so easy tower for them.
Yeah, but look what Ogre Magi is doing here. This is a smart move. Stand around just outside of the initiation range because Rave, frankly, it's hard for them to get a hold of it and throw out as much damage as you can. Jo actually loses the majority of his health just to a level 2 Ignite. Like, that actually really hurts him there. And it means as well, if there's any rotation, things could get very bad very quickly for Rave here. But for the
they have to
moment, it
stop
looks like
them.
they'll let them come forwards.
They have to stop them in this top lane though, because right now we have like Plague Boards coming in, we have Liquid Fire on the tower as well as Metamorphosis and Illusions and whatnot. Like, if they wanted to, they can just keep on going and push for more, but okay, for now they just settle with going back, because the Terrorblade is like at the farm stage where he can just go into the jungle, and that should be just fine. And I'm also looking forward, as I said, this Tidehunter and Rior on the puck, they did not really join the game yet. Like, we have a Dreamcoil waiting for a second use, and we have a Ravage, still a Virginity Ravage. It has to be used, and we are 10 minutes into the game, so I think it's about time to bring that into play. First,
Yeah, they can
look
rotate
at the
them in.
Timbersaw, like, finding the initiation on Chrissy, but the problem is Kraken Shell removed, no slow, no nothing left, so he's out of there.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to try and dive the tower. He could have got the kill on Chrissy there, but he knows that if he's diving the tower, there's a TP probably coming in. There's Ravage available as well. He's probably going to end up dying for it. At the very least, he's going to end up going back to base. And it's a lot of time wasted on trying to kill a hero who's incredibly hard to kill anyway. Like, it's not going to be a fast kill.
The runes went to the prime. We have top the Lycan, got that bounty rune helping him with the farm, and the Timbersaw actually got a quite interesting rune. Like, with that invisibility, we might actually see something happening, but at the moment he's just going back to his lane, which means he's not really intending to go for it. But if he went mid, I'm pretty sure he could have blown up Cast as well as the Shakira here with the help of Howl and whatnot. But at the moment, Prime, like, they're way less aggressive than last game.
Yeah, and it kind of surprises me as well. I mean, they're going up against a hero that they know they want to try and get kills on. They started off with that way. At the moment, though, they're doing a kind of smart thing here. They picked up the Blink Dagger on the Batrider. Kind of a secret here. Given he started in the lane, you know, they did get a kill.
Look at this. No Ice Path being picked up, no nothing. So, Dreamcoil, yes, but the Ogre is like, well, we don't have Ice Path. I'm just TPing home, and I'm absolutely fine. So that's a big cooldown again, just being wasted. But, well, wasted is a very relative term, because they just gonna keep on pushing the tower. There is no cliff available right now, but I think Prime, this time there comes a rotation, but so many wards already, but there is an invisibility rune on the so they can find the initiation. Tower is going down, but where is the go here? There is no go, no swap, because not level 6, and no nothing is really coming out. That Batrider, however, trying to find something, but even the Lasso fails. This is a newly acquired Blink Dagger, but also this cooldown or this new item is just not landing anywhere. So yeah, Prime, they give away a tower, and Rave is just faster out than Prime can find any target.
Yeah, they were able to just walk backwards too fast for the Prime to really get hold of anybody there. They threw something on Jo, but he was already running away. He's a very fast hero, even with the nerf is to Metamorphosis. He's still way faster than most of them, so they don't get a hold of him. He just walks off, and yeah, it's again one of these situations where it's like the Prime, the issue they've had in both these games isn't so much their execution, actually. I think it's that they're not aggressive enough when they want to be. Like, they're just a little bit, they're like 2 minutes behind. You know, where they know they want to be aggressive, but they're kind of lackadaisical about it. They're like, it's fine. Well, you know, wait a second. I want to finish my item or whatever. No, in this situation, you want to go and get some kills. You want to get those ganks off. You want to do as much damage as you can. Because a game like this, where there's been towers going down, but there's only been 5 kills in the game, is utterly in Rave's favor, because they have the Jakiro, they have the Venomancer, and they have the Terrorblade, who are all going to just crush towers. And
yep. And talking about towers, look at top, like the Lycan at the moment going towards the tier 2 tower, maybe some pressure there, and with the side rotation, maybe here a smoke flanking by the Batrider and Boo Boo on the Ogre Magi, we might see something. However, the Timbersaw, well, little duel with the puck, but it's not gonna end anywhere. Problem is, they're gonna flank, and if they find a stun on puck, that might be bad.
Orb is used.
Oh, there's the lasso on Rio, there's the stun, and that's an easy kill on them. At the same time, we have the tier 2 push going on. For them, however, they want to trade, but still in the mid, there is the Shakiro, super low, but he has so much damage over time on him that translates also into an easy kill. So in the end, this is a tier 1 for a tier 2 trade, with 2 heroes lost, and the tier 1 tower in the mid might be the next objective here if Mona rotates into the mid. But oh, they want to go here bottom. Look at this, Chrissy is dying. What a short range, oh my god. And Boo Boo even wanted to go for that stun on the TPing Cast, but Cast, oh my god, is getting, no, Boo Boo missing the second stun on those TPing heroes of Rave. That would have been great, because the Lycan could have just pushed on, but, well, still, a good trade for the Prime here, definitely.
Yeah, and, you know, not getting that extra kill essentially doesn't mean anything for them there. That would have been a bonus, really. The bonus was that they got any kills on the bottom lane, never mind just, you know, a few there. But the really big issue, and the big thing that hurt Rave there, was that as soon as a illusory orb was used, that's when they went in. Because, look, they even tried for it in the bottom lane, but he does actually manage to phase shift and blink out. But every time that your illusory orb is down on Puck, you know that you don't really have a reliable way of escaping, because they can throw multiple stuns on you. You're not going to be able to get out of there. So sometimes you have to be a little bit careful about using that to farm there, but, you know, that was the opportunity. And Lycan, I mean, he's already done some damage to the top tower. That's their base that he's done damage to. Now, sure, it's not very much, but it's very early for them to be doing that. And whilst it looked like things were in favor of Rave, we just had a load more kills added to the board. So that's exactly what they want to do. They need to continue that trend, though. Look for any opportunities that you can. Use up your smokes every time they're off on cooldown, and let your Lycan get the space that he needs by the fact that you're killing them. He's already got himself a Necro 1 as well, so he can start doing some damage to these towers. The one issue for them this game is that it's going to be very hard to get Roshan, because that is actually, you know, it's on the dire side, they're on the Radiant. Sure, it's a little bit closer, but not that much compared to Alt.
Yeah, it will kind of be a hard task for them to go into Roshan unless they really win a big team fight before, and of course they have to remove the tier 1 towers. At least if the tier 1 towers are standing, that Roshan is kind of impossible, but these tier 1 towers, they won't stand for too long, especially because that Lycan is going for the traditional build, like the Necro build, which you don't see that often nowadays anymore. Most of the Lycans actually swapped into like a direct like team fight approach, where they go for like Basha and tankiness and whatnot, but well, he's going for the old one, and I'm looking forward how it turns out. Like, those tier 1 towers, well, in the mid, I think this one is gonna be defended. And I'm also looking forward to that, I don't know, Tidehunter using the Ravage. We are 15 minutes into the game. Jesus Christ, Chrissy. Like, your Batrider was more impressive last game, for sure.
Yeah, part of the issue is that every moment that he has used it, every moment that it's on cooldown, is a moment where the Prime will just run at you. Like, just relentlessly run at you, try to run you over, because there's no threat then, really, from the side of Rave. What are you going to run into? Maybe a Dream Coil and a Waning Rift, but even that isn't actually going to stop you in your tracks. It's just going to, you know, it gives you a little bit of leeway within the Dream Coil, and the Waning Rift, you're still going to be getting right-clicked. Whereas if you get Ravaged, you can't do anything.
Yep, but at the
If
moment
the
Primus
threat of
is
the
doing
Ravage
quite
is
a
what
good
they
job.
need.
They push bottom as well as like showing themselves in mid, and if it's getting too crowded in mid, then he's just going back to the Ancients or to the mid camps. So Lycan at the moment doing a good job. Like, the Venomance is trying to fortify that tier 1 tower a bit, but you don't really care about Plague Wards, and now, yeah, he's just sending even Wolves now on the tower, and like, over time, they definitely get those objectives done. And also Rave, they are all sticking together. Only the Terrorblade is trying to farm here and there a bit. We have a smoke, however, on the Tide, so finally, I think we're gonna see finally our Ravage. But still, they're gonna lose the tier 1 tower bottom for this if they rotate into the mid.
Yeah, this is really hard for them to do right now, because actually, I think that smoke was more defensive than anything. He just wanted to be able to have that little bit of vision advantage, because he was expecting the Lycan to maybe run in and try and get something, but,
Oh, but look
they're
at
not
it.
able to do it.
Y2K, he wants to find something. If the Jakiro gets too close, that might actually translate into a nice kill, because right now there is no one who could do anything. There is a scout with the Ice Path, and also Firefly is ending, so, well, scratch that, they'd have to wait for additional cooldown. But, well, the Lycan, he's really just interested in farming. He used his ultimate. I don't even know for what that ultimate specifically was, but, well, he just used it. He was not under attack or anything, so I'm kind of buckled about this. Never mind, we have new runes. New runes, but, well, double damage on a Timber Saw, that doesn't make too much of a difference.
It's
Reorb
relevant.
mid. Huh? What did you say?
It's just irrelevant, really, on
Yeah.
the DD on that hero. Doesn't do anything when you
No,
right-clicking.
not really. I mean, sure, it does something. It's like, it translates into 140 right click. It's something, but yeah, he comes with such low base damage anyway that, yeah, you're not really scared.
Yeah, and when do you have the time to right-click somebody on a Timbersaw as well? That's one of the big things, is because every time Chakram is out, you can't right-click, and every time Chakram isn't out, you want to have Chakram out, essentially. Like, that's how that hero works. You want to have it on somebody every moment. So, a DD rune is, more than anything, it's a refill to the bottle for them right now, but They have slowed down a little bit here. That pause maybe hurt their momentum a little bit. You always want to be, especially in a game where you're winning, you don't want any pauses to come through because you want to keep moving forward. You want to keep doing the thing that you were doing, and that kind of slows you down. It's more of a psychological thing than anything, because obviously it doesn't make any difference in game terms.
It's the same for Rave. They lost just their momentum as well. I mean, TerraPlate is just trying to go from one Kim to the other. He has 1.3k gold, like has finished like the basic items here with Yasha and Ring of Aquila, but like you can scratch the idea of a Radiance that's way too late into this game. I mean, you could still go for it, like it's nice because it just boosts your GPM into, I don't know, indefinitely. It's just crazy what kind of GPM you can pull with this. But yeah, I mean, the Prime, they're pushing out all lanes. They're gonna get towers by towers, but in the mid, there's the initiation now, and he managed to get it in his ultimate. He's taken that stun, and I think that's pretty much it. Metamorphosis won't change anything, and well, we have NB having problems with all those creeps on his tail, and yeah, they're gonna pursue this. They're gonna pursue this, and they're gonna get the kill here. That's a pretty easy one. Even with the stick used, nope, you can't run from Necro. But at the same time, we had our Ravage, the first one of this game. It's just enough for, well, the Thunder actually turning around on Cheo. Now, if they get something done on Cheo, where's the Whirling Death, where's the Chain? And, yep, they're gonna get that kill. Cast, he has still his ultimate, he's holding on to it, but if the next Chakram finds him, well, we have to see. Chakram is not being used, but now he's slow. It should be enough with Whirling Death. Easy kill for the Timber, and he doesn't care too much. In the backlines, well, Rio just got that one kill, but that's pretty much it. Rio is trying to TP out, and nope, Bubu won't manage to interrupt him. Overall, this all happened while Manong is still farming like a madman. Level 3 Necro is ready, and he just keeps on pushing. The tier 3 tower, like, they have to defend this already. So Rave at the moment, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, and they've got fantastic warding here from the side of the Prime as well. Look at the number of wards that they've got, just in a row through the middle lane here, just 1, 2, 3, all in a row, just getting as much vision as they can. They want to get as much as that can over the enemy jungle here, because it gives more space that the Lycan can actually farm. If he can farm the enemy jungle, which is exactly what he's doing right now, that's not only is it gold that you're getting, but it's gold that the enemy team don't anymore have access to, because you killed the camps. And
the Lycan is gonna
really
buy
gonna
something
hurt.
big now. Come on, tell me, what is it? He's gonna pick up, yeah, Hyperstone.
Maybe
So
AC?
AC
Yeah.
for him. He's going for the full YOLO push build, and I think that's the right thing. Jo, however, on a TerraPlate, well, he is struggling to find farm. I mean, he's finding farm gradually, but as I said, he is dying still way too fast. He has nothing but Aquila and PTs to boost his HP pool, and well, on the mid Rio, well, that was just a bit forth and back waning Rift on Monang, but he doesn't even care too much. The Grass support at the moment, what I said already earlier, Prime is on a good way, 7.5k in experience, and as they go into Roshan, also the gold is pretty much on the same level. We have to see if Rave is gonna disrupt this, but I don't think so. Like, this Roshan is just dying way too fast. Look at this.
Yeah, and they're miles away as well. The closest one who was there was Jo at one point, but it wasn't going to happen for them. They don't have the team fight to back it up. The Tidehunter, Ravage is on still another 10 seconds, so they can't do anything about getting into that fight there. They just let it go. That's the fact about it there.
Yeah, oh, but Timbersaw trying to find something here, but no, everybody's out of vision, and he also doesn't have the means to interrupt anyone. I'm actually looking forward that this Timbersaw gets a Hex at some point, because I definitely like that item on him. You can keep people in the Chakram for like ages, and of course it's nicely... yeah, it's nicely stacking up the damage there. Like, Manon, well, he still farms, and he already got the plate mail done, so he's not too far away from that AC. And with that AC, to be honest, if he gets a BKB on top, like, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing Rave can do at the moment to stop him. He can even go for, like, a tower, 300 damage, 400 damage, and then just back off with the BKB. That shouldn't be a problem at the moment. Timbersaw, he finished his Aghanim Scepter, so we're not just facing one, we are facing 2 Chakrams, and well, people like Rio, for example, or Timbersaw, I say, TerraPlate, they're pretty allergic against this kind of damage.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the last fight, he managed to get... He came into the fight with relatively low HP, gets the Sunder off, and is like, haha, now I have full HP, and then immediately died. Like, he has no HP at this point, 929 with Strength Treads on, that's all he's got. He looks like he's starting either to try and finish his Manta style, or go for a straight Skadi right now. Either way, he needs that item very, very shortly, because your base is about to get attacked. Now, they do have the Ravage, so Rave, they've got the capability to take a strong team fight here. The problem is the Prime have that and a load of extra gold on top of it, and this
And they
Necrobird.
go for tier
Look at
3.
look at how
this.
fast they're killing this tower.
Beautiful Ravage here, but the lasso is already through. They only stunned those two here in line, and there is an Aegis on Monang, so he doesn't really care. Poison Nova, but in the end, it's not translating in too much at the moment here. Envy is being stunned, but there's no follow-up. At the moment, it's a 1-for-3 trade, but they try to get the Lycan for the second time, and of course, this one is actually enough, so Rave still making a sort of good trade, and even gonna get a second one here on the Vengeful Spirit. The question is now, can they find more? The Timbersaw is way too mobile to actually make this happening. We have no Dream Coil at the moment, and Ogre Magi, well, he's slowed by Poison Sting, but that's about it. So in the end, this was a tier 3 tower, or about 80% on it, and that's it. But Rio, oh my god, Boo Boo showing up here. Metamorphosis is just too much damage. He's trying to get everything out here. Chakram on Chayo, but oh my god, he's just using it on the Venom, but the Venom is getting blown up at the same time. Nefari, does he have enough for a burst on Chayo? Yes, it is enough. He gets Chayo. So in the end, this Thunder actually costs 2 people their lives, and yeah, we have the Firefly. He's getting out of here. I don't think Chikiro can somehow catch up, but we have Rio. Rio could get the damage in the TP. Nope, it won't be enough. But while all of this is happening, they still lost their main farmer, and that Terrorblade, he's on position 3 at the moment, and Rio is right after him. It's still not looking good, even though they get their revenge here for this fight, sort of.
Yeah, and a ton of damage was done to their base as well. They lose almost all of their HP on the tier 3 tower, so really, that's everything in the Prime's favor there. The one thing that hurt them in that, well, 2 things actually that hurt them at the start of that fight was that Lycan, he used his ulti before he actually ran in and then used his Aegis, so
yeah.
he had no chance of getting out once that
It should
happened.
be the other way around, to be honest. Like, he should have gone aggressive. If he wants to go aggressive or just get all the damage into the tower possible, then die and then use his ultimate. That was actually what I was thinking, but the problem is he used his ultimate, and that ultimate, he got killed while it was like on half duration. So that wasn't really what I was, I don't know, what he was planning apparently. But still, it seems like they want to just keep on pushing. At the moment some illusions are just trying to creep skip, but it doesn't matter there with 4 here again, and the 5th one is coming soon. However, Macropire buying some time, Ice Path as well, and like a nice little fortification here on everything. But he's gonna just send all his creeps to the tier 3 tower. They're gonna bait out that cliff, but those creeps, they can just return and finish that tower off. That's the good thing about a Venomancer. But if they are smart, actually, I think they could push top and then just go for like, okay, Lake Wards in the mid, we just push top instead.
Yeah, that's the advantage that the Lycan has, of course, is that he can always split push.
So, but the Ravage instantly stops it at the moment. Y2K just being there in the base, and oh, he's huge in trouble. There's so much aids on all of them at the moment. We have the Lycan trying to TP out, but he doesn't manage it. At the moment, it's a 1-1 trade, but all of them are so low. Monang, he's pretty much about to die right now. The Chakram, well, is in an awkward position, but he's not gonna manage any kills, and he's even missing his Timber Chain. Bubo also being pursued by by Chrissy. But here, there's the Anchor Smash, there's the Gush, everything. Some nice multicast coming out, maybe getting the kill on B. No, it's not enough. He survives with about 100 HP, I guess, when the last tick comes through. Even less, it's like 60. Still, that was a bad fight by Prime. Like, that initiation of the Batrider, no split push at the same time. I think they have to change the approach how they go for High Crown.
Yeah, they kind of wasted their Aegis as well, so now Rave are kind of able to come back into these fights. As well as that, perfect person to die first, the Venomancer. Your late game, especially even in the mid game as a Venomancer, your job is to die in the middle of the enemy team after pressing ulti. Like, you're honestly just a suicide bomber for your team. Your score can have 30 deaths on it plus, it doesn't even matter. If you get the ulti off on the enemy team every time they try to go in for a fight, you know that you're being
like surviving and getting some more in would of course be cool, like a
it's nice,
scale, some more wards, because the ward damage actually adds up over time, plus like applying poison sting to everybody. It's a crazy amount of damage if you actually survive, but he needs more items for that. He definitely needs a force staff, so going in, getting your load off, and then somehow force stuffing out, that would be something. Oh, but at the moment, do they? Oh, they find Rio here, but no multicast. However, they have a follow up here, and the lasso, it's still on Rio, so Rio will never mind that. He will still go down. Can they somehow... The Shakram? No, it's not. I can't even believe this. Rio, however, still going down. There's a gem on the crown, and now they are ready to go for high ground. Do we have a buyback on Rio? No. He's 150 gold too short. That's the melee Rex, and that's even maybe more. Magic Missile here. There's the Shakram, but the 4-staff this time just helping him. However, we have here Mr. Nafari, super aggressive. He finds that one tree in the base, trying to get out. Where's the Shakram on the other side? It's Y2K. He's stunned, standing in the fire and everything, but they're gonna match it out with no casualties at the moment. Boo Boo still no luck on these multicasts, and Manong, well, he got the tier 3 tower and he gets the other melee racks at the moment. This is the pushing power of a Lycan, and they might even get more. Double Shakram here on Jayo, no Sunder for him. He doesn't get it off. He was stunned at the same time. Now we have another magic missile here on NB. It's coming out. Where's the Shakram? It's following up. Well, they buy some time with the Yule Scepter, but I think that's it. We have, well, buyback still, and we have some wards cleaning still the rest up, but they lost 2 Raxes here. Boo Boo buying some time. I don't think Chakira, you can kill that Orca alone. I don't think that's possible, but however, we have the Liquid Fire, we have the Breath, and again, another chain miss here by Nefari. I don't know, whenever it's not important, he's missing his chains, but this fight, everything else was on target. Good fight by Prime. Big impact fight.
Yeah, and of course the big thing about that is that you win a fight with a Lycan on your team, he doesn't just kill 1 Rax, he kills 2, you know? And now Rave are fighting from an almost impossible position. Yeah, they keep their range Rax and they keep the bottom Rax, but that's not really enough. They need to get a ton of extra farm on this Terrorblade. Now, of course, he's starting to get to the point where he becomes really difficult to deal with, because as soon as he gets the Skadi, that's when he's really strong. But even then, Skadi has no real effect on the Lycanthrope. He presses R, infinite move speed, no big deal. You know, it's not going to slow him down by any stretch. So
yeah,
it's getting really hard for them.
Good news is, like, we have the tier 2 tower still standing in the bottom lane, so that's slowing them down or preventing them to actually go for the 3rd set of racks. But to be honest, if the Prime, if they group up and everything, I just don't see a reason why that tier 2 tower shouldn't fall, especially if Rave sticks around all the time in the bottom lane to defend this tier 2 tower, then eventually mid and top lane will push in, so 1 or 2 of them are forced to go back to the base, and that will then give like a number advantage to Prime, and they will just get that tower over time. With the Lycan even split pushing a bit. He has now a casual Orca Club after his AC, which means this is going to translate sooner or later in a BKB, and then he's unstoppable. With that BKB, you just can't stop him. If your cliff is down, you're going to lose at least 1 objective, especially if that's a fresh BKB. That translates into 10 seconds of a Lycan just hitting your goddamn objectives. There's nothing, absolutely nothing you can do. But Rave, well, they're trying to push that lane out bottom, and of course the Prime has to wait for the new creeps, but they can't really stop this. I don't think so.
Yeah, this is going to be incredibly hard. The one thing that they do have is that they've just picked up an Aghanim Scepter on Puck. Now, this Aghanim's, it used to be pretty bad. It's still pretty mediocre a lot of the time, but it's the only thing they have on their team that will actually go through BKB. You break the coil on a, if you're a BKB, and you still get stun now with the Aghanim Scepter.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's
but
gonna
still, the timing at the moment is just
yeah.
so perfect. They got the tier 2 tower, which means from now on the base is absolutely open. They can go for Roshan if they want to. I mean, Rave would be ready for a defense around Roshan, but I don't think that's really working. Jayo is still desperately trying to find some farm. He got 1 ultimate orb, which is coming right now. Another ultimate orb, there's at least the gold there. But right now, in this position, he should keep that for a buyback, because they need him. They need to come... I don't know, they need him to come back into the fight. Otherwise, this doesn't make any sense to go into a fight, because he will die. He will be a focus of the Prime. But the Prime seems to be, like, less in a hurry than I thought. Because right now I thought they have momentum.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, but the big thing here is that it doesn't matter.
Oh, on cast here, the question is, do they have enough? Well, at the moment, if he gets his ultimate off, they don't get this kill. There's a nice swap, Magic Missile just buying some time here, but in the end, Y2K is gonna be finished off. Jayo is coming in, and easy going here on Mist as well. I don't know what the Prime was thinking, but engaging here into 4 or 5, that's kind of a bad idea. However, they trade 1-1, and the Vengeful Spirit is less of a loss than a Chakira at the moment. The question is now, can Rave somehow capitalize on it? Maybe take a fast Roshan, then swapping into defensive mode. It doesn't look like it right now, and we have Monang now farming the enemy jungle, pushing out the lanes. He could even do that with Wolves if he has the micro for it. And yeah, Rave is pinned down to their base. It's really bad news. I don't see how they actually leave their base unless they get like 3 or 4 kills.
Yeah, that's the case here, is that they get themselves a nice trade there, but that whole time it's just more space for Manang. Now, yeah, the lanes were a bit too far pushed out, actually, which is a
Oh,
good job by
Chrissy.
Ray.
Chrissy, you don't want to be here. He gets the illusion rune, but illusion rune, I say,
Is that the
invisibility
gem
rune.
drop as well?
Hmm?
Oh, that's their gem dropped as well. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
really
gem
big
drop.
mistake. That's
That's
like double bad mistake.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there. Like, just he has no vision whatsoever in that rune. And yeah, they're gonna go for Roshan here. Monang is joining the fray. Howl up, and that Roshan is gonna go pretty fast down. As I said, Rave, they can't really leave their base at the moment. The Terror Illusions is the only thing that keeps, for example, top pushed out Rio in the mid. But this Roshan is gonna go down, which means Nefari could go for baiting out that cliff just by standing there, dying, then popping the ultimate, popping the BKB, 10 seconds on the objectives, getting the last Medivacs down. That would be really good news. Bottom, I say. Wait, I have today direction problems. So bottom.
Right, it's high up. It's high up on the bottom. I do it all the time as well. Whenever I'm with my friends, I'm like, they're attacking bot lane, and they're like, that's not bot lane, that's the Radiant top lane. I'm like, it's closer to the bottom of the map than the top. It's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, we have the standoff now. The fortification begins, Plague Wards getting spammed here by Cass, but as I said, we have not just a BKB, a fresh 10-second BKB, we also have Aegis now on the Lycan, tons of objective damage, like Chrissy popping the new Firefly, but at the moment, does he find initiation? That's the question. There, the creeps are coming in, the Lycan is actually coming in, and they find Rio. They find the opening on Rio, and that's really bad news. He's going down, no buyback on him, and we're gonna see maybe something more. Nope, cast instantly buyback. Chrissy, they want to get rid of him before the Ravage goes down, and diving into the fountain, he's actually going down. In the background, well, Jayo is still fighting, but what can he do against the Aegis, even if they get him down? Buyback on Chrissy, sure, that's something. Sunder on Monang, but he's just life-stealing through all of this. The Timbersaw getting the Chikiro kill. Chrissy's still alive, but look at their objectives here. The others that are still alive, they can go for it. Cliff is not being baited out, so they still have a small chance of doing something, but well, 20 seconds till the next ultimate, and I think this is pretty much done. But, well, we have still Jayo. All hopes on Jayo, but Sunder is being pulled on. There's the Ravage. He's trying to get something, but he's standing in two Chakrams with no Sunder. And this is bad news, bad news. This must be the GG. There's no other way around.
Yeah, unless there's a rapier hidden somewhere in the trees in this base, there's no way that this Terrorblade is going to be able to stop this, even if he had buyback, which he doesn't. And I love the way that Manang played that fight, the general way that you'd expect him to do things, and, you know, you said it before, I think that Rave didn't expect it either. You expect him to go up, use his Aegis up, and then come out with the BKB and the ulti on afterwards so that you can chase people. Instead, he BKBs, he runs in, and he just chases people down because they know that while he has his BKB on, Jakiro can't throw an Ice Path. The Tidehunter can't use his Ravager because as soon as they use those spells on a guy who has an Aegis and a BKB, that's it. They've lost the fight 100%. But instead, he just rushes them, pushes them back into their own fountain, and the rest of his team, who might not be that good at pushing, but they'll do the job, kill the Rax, and, you know, nice and easy fight there.
Yep.
But nicely
That's
played
pretty
from
much
the
it for our best of 3 series. We were looking for a game 3 and we get it, guys. That's, yeah, a game number 3. Rave, they're not through this, so I-League qualification, if they want to get through, they have to get past Prime. The first game it looked like a ruffle stomp. The second game, however, Prime with their pushing strat, they were successful. So my name was HeflaTV, and still is, and G Advanced is casting with me here. We're going into game number 3, so give us, I don't know, 5 minutes of music, and then we come back for game number 3. It's Rave's last chance to, yeah, I don't know, prevail against Prime. If Prime goes through here, that would be a huge surprise, but, well, I wish them good luck. Let's see, game 3, we will see it, for sure.